Hey Freeps Nation, Jordan Page from FunCheapOrFree.com here. I just got my groceries. I'm gonna show you what I got. Family of 10 for the whole week. Let's do it. Okay, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that we have been out of town for 8 days. So we came back and honestly, we have like nothing in our fridge. I just got my grocery delivery, and on Instagram you guys said you wanted to see more about like the groceries that we buy each week for our family and how we keep them affordable. So I thought I'd show you what I got and what I paid for everything. Let's do it. Okay, first of all, let me talk to you about this grocery haul. One of the things that I have taught since the dawn of time is to slowly build a stockpile so you can do shelf cooking. Shelf cooking is a term that I coined to describe a frugal way of cooking. You cook first with what you have on hand in your fridge, your freezer, and pantry, and then you only go to the store for supplemental ingredients and to stock up for other things. So many people run to the store and buy the ingredients they need for a meal. They don't use all the ingredients. They don't end up cooking the meal. It goes bad. So much wasted food. Learning to cook with what you have allows you to be creative. You can make a meal out of almost anything. So that is the way that I shop. And if you want more information on shelf cooking, I have information below. Go check it out. So one of the things I've been teaching ever since I've been teaching about shelf cooking is to build a stockpile. And what that means is 1 for now, 2 for later. You can't really do shelf cooking unless you have stuff on hand. So this trip in particular satisfies a couple of things for me and my family. We needed to replenish, but also I have also been trying to be really mindful about adding a few things to my grocery order every single week to continue to build a stockpile and have things on hand that we do use and rotate, but that we always have a few extra just in case. Let me answer a few quick questions before I go into the food. Why do I use grocery delivery? I started doing grocery pickup and delivery when I got pregnant with the twins, and it was just hard for my health to go into the store. And then with COVID and everything, it became like a must do, right? Grocery pickup is amazing. At Walmart and a lot of other stores, it's free. You just order your groceries online. It makes it really, really easy to make conscious decisions about what you're buying and make sure you're staying on budget. For me, I do pay the annual fee for grocery delivery just because I work, I have 8 kids, life is crazy, and I have found that it keeps me on a really good schedule of meal planning, and I spend way less by not having to leave my house to go get food. So this is a luxury. We worked it into our budget. If you don't want to pay the annual fee and the tip to the driver for delivery, then I definitely recommend doing pickup because that is free and totally worth it. Another question that I get all the time is, how much do I spend on groceries as a family of 10, and how much should you spend on groceries? I have a ton of videos, blog posts, and information on this that I will link below, but in short, the formula that I have been teaching for a decade and that has worked for people all over the world is $100 per person per month in your family, starting at $300. But the real trick is to break that down per week. I don't believe in doing one grocery trip per month. I think that's unrealistic and you end up overspending. So $250 a week is what I have to spend. And remember, you can always adjust, right? But I would recommend starting with that. And I have thousands of testimonials from people all over the world that have made that budget work. It all comes down to frugal shopping, using what you have, meal planning, and never wasting anything. One way to stay within budget and just be frugal with your grocery shopping, you guys know this, I've talked about this a lot, but I love the Fetch Rewards app. What I love about it is you take any receipt that you have, whether it's for groceries or just a store, you scan them into the app, it's completely free. You earn bonus points that you then turn into rewards like gift cards to Amazon, Adidas, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC Theaters. I love using them for restaurants and also Amazon, and the points really do add up quickly. What's cool about the app is you can also scan e-receipts. So even if you do grocery delivery or grocery pickup, you can still scan your app in there as well. One thing that I love about Fetch is that unlike other rewards apps, You don't have to buy certain things in order to get rewards. You just scan your receipt no matter what it is you bought and you get points. You can also earn bonus points by taking advantage of weekly specials that they run on specific brands or specific items that stack bonus points on top of the bonus points that you would already earn. Honestly, it's a no-brainer. And lucky for you, Fetch is giving you bonus points. Go to the information below, click the link, use my code, and you'll get 4,000 bonus points when you scan your first receipt. That almost puts you at a gift card right there. Go ahead and check it out, you'll love it. Okay, so all of that being said, let me show you what we bought. So all of this I got here is food that will last us for quite a while. The fresh food will last us about a week or two, and then all of the pantry stuff will last us weeks. All of this total was $289. Yes, I did go over budget because my budget was $250 and I did $289, but I made the decision to throw on some formula. We are running low and that did set me over budget. And I know that a lot of you guys don't need formula, and so that formula alone cost us $72.96. So if you were to remove just these two little things of formula from the order, which would apply to most of you, $289.65 minus $72.96, $216.69, which is well under budget for all this food. All right, let's go through it. First up, when we buy eggs, we always buy a ton of eggs because we can hard boil them for snacks, we cook them up for the week, we use them for baking, so we always have a ton of eggs on hand, and these last in the fridge for quite a while. Okay, I got a huge bag of pinto beans. You can buy pinto beans in the can, but they're expensive, and it's really for only, 16 ounces. This is a couple of dollars, and about this many beans end up being one of those 16-ounce cans. So they really go so far. It's a really inexpensive meal. So I always like to have dried beans on hand. You soak them overnight, and then I like to cook mine in the Instant Pot. You can go to shelfcooking.com for some recipes, and then I like to take pinto beans and mash them into refried beans. Right here, I'll show you some of my fresh produce, fruits and veggies that I got to last us for the next week or two. Mushrooms, limes, carrots, asparagus, cantaloupe, fruit. So the truth is, I don't really have meals in mind for these. I just bought them because I know that this is something that we rotate through a lot. So all of these things I can use to make a million different meals. Apples for snacks. I bought big bags of sweet potatoes, but they were out, and so they substituted them for these for the same price. I normally do not buy steamer bags of vegetables because they're more expensive and kind of pointless in my mind, but this is just what they gave me. These veggies, like this and the carrots, the asparagus, these I usually roast up and just serve as a side with a meal. I will throw these in the crock pot with meat. Beans, I just like to boil these on the stove and put bacon bits and butter in there. It's really good. These could go with anything. Honestly, you chop them small and put them in spaghetti sauce or whatever. This, I do have plans to make butternut squash soup. The recipe is linked below. It's so easy. Normally, I don't buy pre-diced, but it's all they had. It was worth a little extra cost for that. Grapes and bananas and apples just for a snack for my kids to go with lunches or whatever. String cheese as a snack for my kids to go in their snack drawer. Look at the link below for how we do snacks and stuff. We don't really do things in wrappers at home except for string cheese, stuff like that. Okay, bread. I always like to have at least 2 loaves on hand for sandwiches and toast. We do like baking bread as well to supplement. Okay, this arugula. I really love having arugula on a bagel with smoked salmon as my breakfast. Also, arugula just goes good with like anything. Avocado. We just like to feed to the babies. My kids also like them as a snack. And then also I have quite a bit of meat on hand I can always whip up some tacos or taco soup. These always go well with those. And then cheese. This is a huge 5-pound bag of cheese. And what I'll do is I will divide it into 3 or 4 Ziplocs and freeze 3 and use one right away. But it's cheaper if you buy bulk, so I bought more cheese than I needed for now. Now, going back over here, here's some more dried beans. Black beans, really just the same concept as the pinto beans. They're so much cheaper when they're dried, really easy to make. Rice, I actually had ordered just the Great Value brand, but they were out, so they substituted these. But rice is one of those things that we eat a ton in our house. It's filling, it's inexpensive, and it's a really good way to mix in healthy things like vegetables. We went through a lot of rice over the last few months, so I'm slowly trying to build up. And we will store these in buckets. I will find some and link them below, but you can get like food storage buckets that are a really great way to save this kind kind of stuff. Okay, apple juice. I only got one because we have some, but we do go through it pretty quick. Same with the oats. Costco has been out of oats and Walmart has been out of oats for a while, so they finally have some back. We will go through this real fast. We like oatmeal. I also like putting them in cookies or pancakes or whatever. So this is kind of like 1 for now, 3 for later. These, I normally don't encourage people to buy convenience foods like pre-made sauces and stuff like that, but this is awesome. It's a simmer sauce and it's like $3. We will cook up some chicken, which I'll talk about in a minute. We will simmer it in this with some veggies, and then we'll serve it over rice. I will stretch this with coconut milk or cream, and these are really good. So this is butter chicken, tikka masala, and then this is coconut korma. We love Indian food, and these are really good mild sauces. So quick, easy meal. I got some of these for the babies, though we have a freeze dry machine now, and I'm gonna try to make my own because these are pretty expensive. My babies absolutely love these, so I keep them in my diaper bag for on the go. Okay, almond milk, because Mac is lactose intolerant, so I got a couple of those. And then I got milk just for the rest of us. We don't do cereal for breakfast, but we do cereal for snacks. And then we use milk a lot for like cooking and baking. And by the way, you can freeze milk. So sometimes I will buy 1 for now, 2 for later, and 1 for the freezer. But for now, that's all we need. 1 for now, 2 for later on my favorite caffeine water mixes. You guys know I love these. I'm obsessed. Okay, the formula that is so expensive. Let me just tell you, I can't wait. My babies are 10 months old, so I'm very excited that in 2 months, I won't need to buy formula anymore. And that'll be a beautiful day because it's so expensive. And this is the only formula that doesn't upset them. So we're committed to this kind. I got a pineapple and then flour. I actually had bought 2 bags of 25 pounds of flour, but they substituted them for all these smaller ones. Normally, I probably would have only bought like 3 because I feel bad for the delivery guy. They did the substitution. We go through a ton of flour. Like when I'm baking bread, I'll do 4 or even 6 loaves at a time and freeze some. And we'll go through this entire bag in just one batch. Flour is one of those things that we always like to have on hand that we rotate through quite a bit. And then this week, I ended up just buying chicken. I bought 2 packs of chicken breasts. And what I will do is I will take 1 entire pack and just freeze it. I'll put 2 breasts in a Ziploc bag. And I have a video on how I freeze meat to use for later. So check the link below for that. But I will put them in individual bags and freeze them. And then what I'll probably do is take up this entire pack and throw it in the crock pot with just some salt and pepper and cook it down and shred it in the mixer, which if you haven't seen that trick of mine on Instagram, you're missing out. Then have frozen cooked chicken on hand for easy meals. Okay, let's talk about meat for a quick second because all I bought this week was chicken. Meat is one of those things that I don't buy every week necessarily, though it's not a bad plan. I tend to wait until meat is on sale and then stock up and buy a lot at one time. So for example, this last year we bought half a cow. We split it with my cousin, and so that gave us a lot of red meat to use for a while. You could just buy meat slowly each week, 1 for now, 2 for later. So for me, I have a lot of red meat. I don't have much chicken. Now, when it comes to meat, we will cook up chicken, but we'll have it in a stir fry or shred it and put it in burritos, which is why we're able to keep our grocery bill so low. We just don't need a ton of meat to feed us. Anyway, so hopefully that answers your questions. These are the real deal, real life groceries that we bought for our family this week. And again, it would only cost you $216 with that formula. Dang, formula is so expensive. So as you can see, it is possible to feed a large family like mine and to stock up for later on a budget. Also, check out my video below for how to meal plan affordably and to shelf cook to use all of this food to its fullest. So there you go. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, will you give it a thumbs up? Thanks again to Fetch for sponsoring this video. Check my link below, use my code and get 4,000 bonus points that you can start using right away. I gotta let you go so I can put all this food away before it goes bad. Talk to you guys later, bye.